Boxing, I would put in A tier. The reason I would put boxing in A tier is because when you're trying to defend yourself, the only tools that you have are strikes, pretty much strikes to the face, and you're in a position then where you can do a lot of damage to your opponent. And if that's what you want, then amazing. Boxing is very, very good. But causing a lot of damage to your opponent by strikes to the face could land you in some shit that you pretty much would rather avoid. But I must say, when it comes to hands, there's no other martial art that is on boxers' levels when it comes to throwing hands. Muay Thai, kickboxing, none of them compare to boxers' hands. This is why when you see a lot of the guys from MMA coming over to boxing, the likelihood is that the boxer is always going to win. Muay Thai, for self-defense, I would pop in S tier. The reason I'd pop this in S tier is because you have more tools to nullify your opponent without doing serious damage. So of course, with Muay Thai, you have options of clinching, you have options of knees, elbows, kicks. And I mean, if you're trying to defend yourself, let's just say you're out, on a night out, and there's some drunk person that's trying to cause an issue with you. And of course, you don't want to do serious damage by punching them in the face, because like I said, the repercussions can be massive. Being able to throw a low leg kick against a drunk person, especially if they don't know how to block a low leg kick, they've never felt a low leg kick, realistically one, maybe two, and they're going to be on the floor, not able to walk, and you've nullified that person completely. I think that's why I'm popping Muay Thai in S tier. And of course, if you end up having to grapple with somebody, of course, it's not a grappling sport, but being able to clinch, throw knees to the stomach, to the solar plex, being able to sweep somebody, that can be a huge advantage as well, which is why I'm popping this in S tier. Jiu-jitsu, I'm also going to pop in S tier. The reason I'm popping this in S tier for self-defense is because you are able to nullify your opponent completely without doing any damage to them, whether you take them down and hold them in a position, whether you submit them. You can pretty much win the fight without doing serious harm to the other person, which is what we want. This is self-defense. I think if you've never trained in jiu-jitsu and you see a smallish guy and you're double the size of him, it's easy to think that, yeah, I would grapple this person, I would throw them round, but it doesn't quite work like that. And you look at Larry Wheels, for example, he's recently gone into martial arts or training in martial arts. He's been grappling with some very small guys. And I think he had a reality check that size is important, but if you've got no skills to go with it, you're going to get twisted up by somebody who trains in jiu-jitsu. Taekwondo, I would pop in C tier, maybe D. Reason for this, that yes, it can be effective. They're very flexible, they throw kicks, spinning kicks they're very good at. But when it comes to self-defense, the other striking options that we've discussed, the Muay Thai, boxing, is just so much more effective. With Taekwondo, it's very good, but it's a lot of point scoring, and it's just nowhere near as effective as the other ones that we've discussed. Wrestling, again, I would pop in S tier. Reason for that, again, it's similar to jiu-jitsu, just having the ability to grapple with somebody, take them to the ground, hold them there. I think it's so effective. And even if you're not good at striking, it's not hard to have somebody in a vulnerable position and land a few strikes if you need to. If this person that you're holding down is resisting like crazy and you feel like you need to land 1 or 2 strikes, even if you don't have a striking background, it's not that hard to land those strikes to the face if you need to. And again, when it comes to wrestling, there's levels to wrestling, and if you're a half decent wrestler or you've trained in wrestling for 6 months, a year, and you're coming up against somebody that has no grappling experience, it's very easy to win that fight and defend yourself well. Kung Fu, we're going to put in F tier. Listen, I'm sure it has some benefits that maybe I'm unaware of, but in reality, if you're learning some sort of striking, stay away from Kung Fu. you know, get into things like the boxing or the Muay Thai or even kickboxing. It's just so much more effective. There's a reason why MMA fighters or the top guys in the UFC, none of their striking discipline is kung fu. It's always boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Get some Taekwondo guys in there as well, but no one's discipline is kung fu. And lastly, we look at MMA. This is S tier. This is S plus. This is the very best discipline to learn. Again, this incorporates all aspects of fighting, putting everything together. And listen, there's a reason why the baddest man on the planet will always be the heavyweight champion of the UFC. I think it's much more effective to be an all-rounder in MMA than it is just to be a specialist in one of these disciplines. Yes, if you're, say, a specialist in Jiu-jitsu and you also train MMA, that's even better, or vice versa. You're a specialist in Muay Thai, converting over to MMA, and you've got some grappling skills as well. But as a whole, MMA is the very, very best for self-defense. It's not even questionable. Having the ability to fight in all aspects of the grappling, the striking, you know, the wrestling, all of it is just, this is why this is S plus tier. So let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, any that I've missed out. I want to know your thoughts. Do me a huge favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Every subscriber goes a long way in growing this channel so that I can give you guys more content.